And when I tell you that series on TikTok, which is why I want to shout out his name, and I'm going to look for it and tell you before I get to the collective reading what his name is, but it brings me so much joy. And so something as simple as that is raising your vibration, having that laugh. I also like to look at dog videos. A lot of people don't know this. The only videos that are hard for me to look at are Pomeranian videos, but I love looking at dog videos. Dogs are my favorite animal. So are horses. I love horses. And so if I'm watching a horse running on the beach, or if I'm watching a pit bull do something just adorable, that my heart's soaring. And so I advise you to do even something as small as that, because that is spiritual currency. It's like you're adding more and more. Think of a bank account. Think of every time that you do something good for yourself, spiritual currency just keeps being added. Think of your spirit guides being right behind you, because they are laughing right along with you. All right. The next thing that a lot of you, especially my younger listeners, I really want you to work on being still, taking a moment of silence. And so that could be meditation. That could be just drinking. You know what? You should be drinking water every day. So when you're drinking that water, why don't you take a moment and do it quietly? Okay. And I'm not saying that, you can't just drink your water any other time. But it's that moment of stillness. That's where you start getting those spiritual downloads. That's where that intuition starts kicking in. Because now your spirit guides say, oh, she's listening. He's listening. Now I can talk to you. That's where Source says, oh my God, finally, I have a moment with you. Because that is what we're here for, is to learn and also to connect with those spirit guides. Okay. The more that you're listening to that intuition, this is why when I'm reading tarot, you'll hear me make these pauses like I just did, because I'm waiting and listening in. When I record, it's just me in here. It's just me and my microphone and my laptops, and so I'm listening for what do I need to say. And sometimes if I don't have my notes, I'm definitely stumbling, but sometimes I'm also looking for the right words to give you. And so when you're taking those moments of stillness, now Source and your spirit guides, your guardian angels, etc., now they know how to connect with you. Okay. And also it helps raise your vibration. Keep your physical space clear. Now I understand, like I said, my podcasting space, which is I'm currently working on updating, has more clutter than I like. I don't like clutter. It's a Virgo thing. I don't like clutter whatsoever. It bugs me. Everything needs its space. Okay. Now Virgos, we're also known for certain areas are cluttered. For instance, everything on the outside looks perfectly clean and neat, and then that closet will be a mess. That's big Virgo energy, by the way. And it has a lot to do with how our mind works. Any space that I'm in needs to be free of clutter. However, if it's something that I don't need to see, I don't care. Although I always know where everything is in that clutter. I promise my closet is not a mess. It's not perfect, but it's not a mess. And I feel like Eric is currently disagreeing as he's listening to this. His closet is not perfect either, guys. That was emotionally manipulative, by the way. That's what I mean. By the way, that's an example of emotional manipulation, to be like, yeah, but you do this. Yeah, that's what that was. And I was joking, by the way. And so before we get to today's reading, I want to stress something, because I hear it a lot, and I'll be honest with you, it makes me cringe. And not like Gen Z cringe, but because they cringe at anything. They cringe at social interaction. Gen Z, I'm always going to pick on you because you love to pick on millennials and then copy millennials. Okay. And oftentimes, because I'm a younger millennial, you think that we're the same. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I'm still a millennial. No, I know that I'm a millennial. I'm not like the older generation of millennials, but who leans more towards Gen X, but I'm still a millennial, guys. And I'm going to pick on you, and that's okay. It's okay for us to pick on each other so long as it's lighthearted and it's not meant, there's no malice, and there's never any malice, not especially not with my new moons, okay? But what I want you to keep in mind is that your alignment is about consistency more than anything. It's not about perfection. I'm going to say that one more time. It is not about perfection. It is not, hey, I never get sad. I'm always happy. I'm always good. Everything is great. Yes, everything is great, but it's perfectly okay that that person over there pissed you off. It's perfectly okay that you're not where you want to be yet in your life. That's okay. And I know that it bothers you. Let's stop pretending. Because when you do that, guess what you're actually creating? The opposite effect, negative momentum. Do you think that the universe doesn't know you're lying? You think the universe can't tell that you don't really feel that great right now? The universe can tell. And so, before we end this segment, I want you to understand some days are going to be off. But you don't stay there. You're going to get back to that gratitude. You're going to listen to your favorite song. You're going to take a moment to be still. This is called spiritual maintenance, or spiritual hygiene is another way to put it. And as a high roller, it's all right. But it doesn't change that vibration, not permanently. Okay? You get to keep all that you have manifested. You get to live a happy life. You get to be joyful. Because you get to decide how you hold that frequency. And guess what? Fun fact, that frequency is holding you right back. And so it is. All right, new moons. Keep in mind that the full disclaimer is at luanovapodcast.net, and that I do not do spiritual work whatsoever without your consent. So if you don't consent, do not continue to tune in to the rest of today's episode. I appreciate you being here, and you can come back and listen to another episode, okay? Have a good one. To everybody else, let's see what your message is for today. And for those of you who miss me saying, let's talk about the pink unicorn in the room, that's actually still on the website. But let's see what your message is. Spirit, what is the message for my new moons this week? Keep in mind that this message is for my new moons only. What is their message for this week? Spirit, and thank you for your help. I love it. Not it ties in with today's episode. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay. Spirit, give me another card, please. Okay. Yep. This one does as well, by the way. And I'm going to give you the numbers 12 and 7. All right. And one of you have on a hoodie right now. I saw a red hoodie that just flashed in my brain. Love that. Oh, one of my favorite tarot cards. All right, Spirit, let's leave it right there for now, at least. Let's spray this area. You hear the spiritual spray? You might hear it. I don't know. Some of you say you can't really hear it, but you could probably... Oh, no. I'm sorry. I hit the microphone. My apologies if that was loud. To my headphone users, my apologies. Headphone users, I am going to give you a warning that before I end today's episode, I'm going to be using my sound bowl because I do want to clear the energy completely and just keep you in the headspace of being in a high vibration. And so I want to end today's show with doing just that. All right. Sound healing is something I'm going to talk about more in the future, but let's get to your reading. Starting off with card number 12, the Hanged Man. And so I definitely am immediately, I heard Pisces. I heard it just like that. Pisces, just like that. So Pisces, definitely tune in if that is your sun sign. But the Hangman. The Hangman is about taking this moment to pause, taking this moment to really absorb all of these great things that are happening for you, all of these great things that are meant to happen for you. The Hangman is enlightened. He's at this point in his life. And keep in mind, when I say he, I'm just referring to what appears to be the gender that is on the cards. But that doesn't mean that it's only for the men that I'm referring to right now. This refers to everybody. The Hangman is at this point in his life where he's like, you know what? I'm going to let the universe take over here because that's what they're there for. That's what they want to do. That's what Source created everything for.